Hello everybody and welcome back to another Oscar prediction video where today I will be taking a look at the category of Best Supporting Actress. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure because I've been sick, I'm trying to catch up, and a lot of these categories that I have yet to cover do not have obvious answers, so doing these prediction videos, it is tricky, but I'm I'm gonna have to get through it, I'm gonna have to find ways to predict things, and so far, the only acting category that I've done is supporting actor, because the other three are all really, really difficult to figure out. And while it is frustrating, I do have to admit I prefer this over something like 2019, where the same four people are winning acting awards at every single ceremony, and it's very, very obvious and there's no suspense. Here there is suspense, which is going to make it really, really interesting to see who's going to win. And in the case of supporting actress, there's a couple of different people who it could be. And I think I know who the winner is, but don't take anything I say in this video as gospel, because there's legitimate possibilities outside of the frontrunner. But let's get started. Fifth most likely to win is Hong Chao in The Whale. So this is Hong Chao's first nomination, and she came on the scene in a big way, almost got nominated for it, Downsizing, but didn't. Now she managed to get on for this movie. Also, she had The Menu the same year, which I think helped. Now, this film has received some very divisive reactions. However, Hong Chao is considered one of the best things in it, and I think even people who hate the film might find it difficult to argue with this nomination. However, I don't think she's going to win, and I think she's, of the nominees, is in the least likely position. She doesn't feel overdue. She's been in a couple things, but some of the other actresses in this category have an overdue narrative, and Hong Chao really doesn't. She feels relatively new on the scene, and that's not to say that she couldn't get a really great role in the future. She's clearly very talented, but the film itself, because it's so divisive and because there's a lot of people that hate it, I could feasibly see Frasier winning and I could feasibly see the makeup winning, but not Hong Chao. It'd be a very big deal for this movie to win 3 Oscars when so many people don't like it. So, good nomination, solid nomination, but she's the only one in this category that I feel confident in saying has no chance of winning. Fourth most likely to win is Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So this is her first nomination, and for a lot of people, it's the first time that they're seeing her in a film. It's the first time that they're exposed to her. I was actually exposed to her with the musical Be More Chill, so I know who she is, and it's very, very rewarding to see her get this kind of attention and get this kind of a role. In fact, she would be my personal vote. And I've heard some people express similar sentiments that she's really, really extraordinary and is a big part of why the film works. However, the tricky thing with Stephanie Hsu is because she's such a newcomer. I don't know. I like the other nominees in this category have much better narratives. Like it feels weird. The fact that she almost didn't get the nomination, which feels crazy to me. She came like close to missing because she didn't get BAFTA and she didn't get Globe. Fortunately, she got this Oscar nomination, but I, I just it's hard to know because I would vote for her, and I really wish that there was a real chance that she could win. But if you just look at the precursors, the top 3 that I'm going to mention have all won pretty significant precursors, and I think people just aren't ready to vote for her because they don't know her very much, which feels a little bit weird because a lot of the time people do like voting for the young ingenue, but I don't know, maybe Oscar voters just don't see her that way. They clearly love the movie, and she's such a big part of why it works, so it is frustrating. I wish that she was in a better position to win, but sadly, she's just not. Third most likely to win is Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis, rather surprisingly, is on her first nomination. Like almost everyone in this category is. Uh, and it's interesting because I love Jamie Lee Curtis and I love this movie. So I can understand the nomination. They have the opportunity to give her this nomination and they give it to her. It was frustrating that she got nominated for BAFTA and Globe without co star Stephanie Sue because it's not that Curtis is bad in this role, but she doesn't get the same level of emotional depth as Sue does in the film. Jamie Lee Curtis is really just this goofy side character that is funny, but the script doesn't really. I would argue it's not really concerned with humanizing her or giving her much of an arc. She's largely there to be funny, and I think she does a good job with what she's required to do. But the nomination, I I think it's a little bit much, but I would be okay with it. What really surprised me is that she won the SAG. And this, I think, a lot of people would just chalking this up to just how much they love the movie and how much they love her in particular. Because the performance itself, again, it's not a bad performance, but I just don't know if I see enough there that's like this needs to win an Academy Award. Because to put it bluntly, she's not even the best supporting actress in the movie, much less of the year. So I think this would be an undeserving win, even though Curtis is such a lovable actress, it would be difficult to be that mad at it. And the thing is, it is possible that she wins just because of how loved Curtis is in the industry, and just people are upset that she has gone largely unrewarded up until this point, and she's part of a film that is so loved. But there is a question of, okay, how many awards can Everything Everywhere really win on the night? Because I think at this point it's pretty clear that the film is winning picture, and it's been a long time since the Best Picture won as much as 5 awards, and this one could potentially win 6 or even more. I don't think Curtis is coming along with that. She's, again, very, she's a great actress, and it's a shame that she's been unawarded so far, but it would just feel weird if she actually won the Oscar for this, and I don't think it's going to happen. Second most likely to win is Angela Bassett for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So Angela Bassett is the only person in this lineup who has previously been nominated before for the movie What's Love Got to Do with It in 1992, and funnily enough, that performance often gets singled out as a performance that should have won the Oscar. I said 92. It was 93, and she lost to Holly Hunter in The Piano. I've heard so many people say that that really should have been Angela Bassett's Oscar. So sadly, it was not. And now that she's finally back with this movie, and she won both the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice, she was earlier in the season declared the frontrunner. Now, it did strike me as a little bit weird that she was winning for this, but it's not impossible, and she very easily could win. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, Angela Bassett is a legend who's been in the industry for a really long time now, and it's frustrating that she doesn't yet have an Oscar. And unlike Curtis, I think Bassett gets more to do in her movie, and her big scene in the throne room is a scene that screams Oscar. So it would make a certain amount of sense. The problem is the movie itself, it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe superhero film, a big franchise film. She's playing a character she played originally, it feels weird to give her an Oscar for this movie, especially considering where the MCU is right now, even though people like Wakanda Forever. The reception that Thor Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, and recently Quantumania, the MCU is not in a great place right now. And so it would feel weird to bestow this huge honor and acting Oscar win to an MCU film. And I think it's tricky. It's tricky. I could see it happen. I think it's really, really close, but ultimately I'm not going to pull the trigger on it. I'm not going to predict her. The person who I will predict number one most likely to win is Kerry Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin. Now, Kerry Condon is not a fairly well-known actress. She's been in things, most notably Better Call Saul, but this role, for a lot of people, is the first time people are really taking notice of her. And the film, obviously, very well loved, 9 nominations. Condon, I remember when I first saw the movie, being very confident that this could be our winner, because she stands out so much in that ensemble, being the most sensible character in the film and being a key part of why the film works. It would make so much sense as a supporting win, and she did win the most amount of critics awards early on in the season. Now, in terms of main televised awards, the only thing that she has is the BAFTA. But I feel like at least one of the BAFTA winners has to also win at the Oscars, and to be honest, I'm kind of doubting that the other BAFTA winners can. And so I know that it's weird, because it makes sense that the BAFTAs wouldn't go for Curtis or Bassett, so I don't know how much of a precursor it really is, but there's something about it that just makes sense. Because you know what? Both Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis have the same narrative of, oh, we have to give it to this legend who's gone unrewarded for so long. And Condon, I think with her, it's all the performance. I think the performance really does merit it. Outside of Stephanie Sue, it's my favorite in the category. And Condon really does command the screen and gets a lot of big moments. Plus, the movie is so well loved, and with Everything Everywhere poised to win so much, like, I have to believe that Banshees of Inisherin can win something on the night, and this is what it makes the most sense for it to win. So I do think Kerry Condon is in the best position to win. Part of the reason why I don't think it's going to be Angela Bassett is I think back to what happened with the movie Creed, with Sylvester Stallone winning Globe and Critics' Choice, and it was a similar thing. It's a genre movie. It's a franchise film. It's this beloved actor who's returning to a role. Like, he seemingly had the narrative, and yet people went elsewhere. People went for the person who won the BAFTA, which in that case was Mark Rylance, and here, Kerry Condon, part of a very beloved film. It just makes sense to me, and so I'm gonna predict it, but I think it could be Bassett, and even Jamie Lee Curtis would not be shocking, although I would argue not the most deserving person here. So, as of right now, my official prediction is Kerry Condon. So thank you very much for watching, and be sure to tune in next time, where I will be taking a look at the category of Best Actress. See you then.